Get ready for the biggest moves in Formula One. McLaren driver Oscar Piastri of Australia is leading the pack at the start of the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka, but the regulations are shifting. The FIA has finalized changes designed to make qualifying feel flat out and improve overtaking safety for next week's Miami Grand Prix. We break down exactly how these new electrical power adjustments will redefine the race strategy and driver skill.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
The battle for efficiency is heating up as we look at the new battery power regulations. We dive into the specifics of the changes that will limit maximum recharge per lap and encourage more consistent flat-out driving, directly addressing driver concerns about battery management. Discover how these tweaks aim to reduce excessive energy harvesting and what this means for the drivers competing in the coming races. Next up, we're looking at the broader overhaul of the 2026 Formula One regulations ahead of Miami. We examine the controversial elements like increased battery management and super clipping, and how the FIA is using this break to implement significant tweaks. Find out about the new power limits for the boost button and the introduction of a low-power start detection system designed to ensure safer starts on the grid. Finally, we tackle the core engine regulation concerns and the reaction from the top drivers. With Max Verstappen considering his future in F1, we explore the changes aimed at reducing speed differentials caused by unequal energy deployment. Hear from Toto Wolff on the strategy, and get the full rundown on how these sweeping changes are being implemented to make F1 faster, safer, and more thrilling for everyone. Stay with us. Formula One is implementing significant technical changes to the electric hybrid power systems in preparation for the upcoming Miami Grand Prix, aiming to create a more flat-out, qualifying experience and enhance safety during overtaking maneuvers. The governing body, the FIA, confirmed that these adjustments were agreed upon after extensive consultation involving F1 teams, engine manufacturers, and drivers. The core of the changes focuses on electrical power management. A new package of regulations will allow for faster recharging at high speeds while simultaneously reducing the maximum energy that can be harvested per lap. The stated objective is to reduce excessive harvesting of energy and promote more consistent, full-throttle driving. These modifications address driver concerns that the current focus on battery recharging during qualifying detracts from testing pure driving skill. Furthermore, following a recent incident at the Japanese Grand Prix involving an on-track excursion, the FIA has introduced specific limits. These include a cap on the extra power provided by the overtake, boost, mode, and other restrictions on electrical power in certain sections of the track. The FIA stated these measures are designed to mitigate excessive closing speeds while preserving overtaking opportunities and overall performance characteristics. These technical and safety enhancements, including new wet weather driving protocols, will be in effect for the Miami GP on May 3. Additionally, preliminary changes aimed at improving starting grid safety will be trialed in Miami, featuring a boost for slow-starting cars and the introduction of a visual warning system. Formula One is adjusting battery power regulations ahead of the Miami Grand Prix, according to Sport Nation. This regulatory tweak is expected to impact the competitive landscape for teams. In motorsport news, attention is also turning to team dynamics and personnel changes. Reports indicate that the Warriors Ford vehicle is being considered as a potential replacement for the Haas team in the Blues. On the rugby front, Super Rugby is set to bring together various teams under a single structure, marking a significant gathering of the sport. Meanwhile, the Dragons are facing a substantial challenge, with their interim coach, Young, facing a huge task ahead in guiding the team through the upcoming season. Formula One is set to implement minor regulatory revisions ahead of the Miami Grand Prix, aiming to enhance the spectacle of the 2026 rule set following concerns raised about battery management, excessive energy harvesting, and the prominence of super clipping. These adjustments follow a period of discussions allowed by the hiatus between Grand Prix in Japan and Miami. Key stakeholders reached a unanimous agreement on changes to address driver feedback regarding performance consistency and energy management. The primary technical tweaks focus on energy deployment. The maximum permitted recharge from 8 mJ per lap will be reduced to 7 mJ to curb excessive harvesting and promote more consistent flat-out driving. Furthermore, the peak superclip power will be increased from 250 kW to 350 kW, which will also apply to race conditions, thereby decreasing recharge time and easing the driver's energy management workload. Race regulations have been adjusted for safety and consistency. The maximum power available through the boost button during race conditions is now capped at plus 150 kW. UMG-UK deployment will remain at 350 kW in key acceleration zones, but will be limited to 250 kW elsewhere on the lap. Safety enhancements include the introduction of a new low-power start detection system designed to automatically trigger MG-UK deployment if a car exhibits abnormally low acceleration post-clutch release, ensuring a minimum acceleration level without providing a sporting advantage. This system will feature a visual warning system with flashing lights for affected cars to alert trailing drivers. Revisions to wet weather regulations also include increased tire blanket temperatures, a reduction in maximum energy recovery system deployment, and simplified rear light systems. These changes will be implemented starting with the Miami round, which will also feature an evaluation of safety trials for race starts following incidents of slow-moving cars off the line in previous opening rounds. Neu Dung Kai Tight. Formula One has implemented a significant series of rule changes to address concerns surrounding the new engine regulations, aiming to enhance driver performance and safety. The changes target the complex energy management required by the new power units, which feature a near 50-50 split between internal combustion and electrical power. Drivers have voiced dissatisfaction, with four-time world champion Max Verstappen reportedly considering his future in the sport due to the new car characteristics. /N/, the modifications involve sweeping changes to engine operation, designed to enable drivers to push the limits during qualifying sessions and mitigate dangerous speed differentials during races, particularly when one driver deploys full power while another lacks electrical charge. A potential difference of 470 bhp. /N/, F1 bosses, including Mercedes F1 boss Toto Wolff, emphasized a measured approach, describing the adjustments as acting with a scalpel rather than a baseball bat, focusing on improving the product, increasing out-and-out racing, and enhancing safety. /N/, key technical adjustments include modifications to qualifying procedures aimed at reducing excessive energy harvesting and encouraging consistent, flat-out driving. Drivers have been required to lift and coast for brief periods before braking, a practice some drivers have found counterintuitive. Furthermore, the permitted recharge amount per lap has been reduced from 8 mJ to 7 mJ. /N/, to manage superclipping, the maximum power recovered when the engine is at full throttle without battery deployment. The limit has been increased to 350 kW, up from 250 kW, with the goal of limiting this to 2 to 4 seconds during qualifying. /N/, and in race safety measures have been introduced. Capping the maximum power of the boost mode at 150 kW, or the car's existing deployment level. Cars will be permitted to deploy the full 350 kW electrical power in specific acceleration zones out of corners, but will be restricted to 250 kW elsewhere, ensuring sudden speed differentials are managed. /N/, and other changes address wet weather performance by allowing an increase in the temperature of tire blankets to improve initial grip. Maximum electrical deployment levels are being reduced to control torque and improve car handling, with the exact limit yet to be specified. A simplification of rear light systems is also being introduced to provide clearer visual cues for improved visibility. /N/, looking ahead, potential changes to the race start procedure are being trialed for the upcoming Miami Grand Prix. To mitigate risks associated with altered engine architecture and previous near misses, teams will test a low-power start detection system, capable of automatically deploying the MGUK to ensure a minimum acceleration level at the start. A visual warning system featuring flashing lights will also be trialed, alongside restrictions on energy deployment to prevent cars from arriving at the grid with critically low battery levels.